Hey guys, welcome back. We're on lesson 5 of the bonus copywriting module. And I want to share with you the number one technique for improving your copywriting. There's a lot of different techniques out there. You could read 100 different books. You could just observe other people's landing pages. You could take different copywriting courses. But there's one technique that I personally used myself. And I think this is the 80-20 of the 80-20 to become a better copywriter. So in 2013, 6 years ago, I spent over 90 hours in a span of 3 months on one technique that improved my copywriting. So are you guys curious what it is? It's writing. It's writing by hand. So I got this from the Baron Letters by Gary Halper, and Gary Halper is known as one of the best copywriters in history. And here's what he says in his own words. You see, what happens when you actually write out a good ad in your own handwriting is that the words, the flow, the sentence structure, the sequence of information, and everything else about the writing of that ad becomes a part of you. This isn't just an empty experience. This is a way of internally imprinting on your mind and body the process of good writing. If you do this often enough, you will soon have a deep inside-out understanding of what it takes and what it feels like to write a good piece of copy. So what's interesting is I've actually, excuse me, I've heard of this technique before since like 2009 when I first started, but every time I heard this technique, I was like, man, I don't want to waste my time doing that shit an hour a day. That's a lot of commitment, and I don't want to write by hand. Like, I'm not even sure how much I can write by hand anymore because I'm always typing. But it wasn't until one day I actually met another very successful affiliate marketer who I noticed he always came up with his own landing pages, his own sales copy. He wrote everything by hand. He said this is the difference it made for him. So that's kind of what inspired me to do this exercise. So here's the technique. It's very simple. You copy a famous sales letter 60 minutes a day. Okay, you can't take a break. It has to be in a row. Second thing, it has to be on my hand. You're not going to get the same results from typing it. I did an experiment where I spent 60 minutes typing out a sales letter, and I spent another 60 minutes writing it by hand in a notebook. And writing it by hand, like literally the next day, I could just recall so much more information when I wrote it by hand. Because think about it, when you're always just typing, you're typing like 10 hours a day. How much of it do you really remember? But when you actually write something by hand, I don't know what the science is, but I just know it works. And the third thing is, here's a little warning. The first few days, your hand's gonna hurt. Okay, your hand's gonna hurt. It's because we're so used to typing that we just don't use our hands anymore to write. So one thing that I recommend is getting a comfortable pen. So I actually have like a big pen. Like I love good pens. So the two pens I really like, I think this is called the Dr. Grip. So you can see it's really thick. It's really thick. It's very comfortable. So the Dr. Grip is really good. And I also like the Zebra Sarasa. I'm gonna write this in the notes. So make sure you get a comfortable pen, and for the notebooks, come on guys, don't get analysis paralysis. It's just a notebook. I think I used like a lined moleskin for that. And yeah, I definitely recommend buying a nice notebook, because when you buy a nice notebook, it incentivizes you to like actually finish it out. So the next question is, where do you find sales letters to copy? There are two websites I recommend. The first one is swiped.co, and the other one is swipefile.com/sales-pages. So you might have to sign up for their email list, but it's really not you have to sign up and get a login information, but it's 100% free. And after this video is over, I'm going to give you guys 5 different sales letter that I personally wrote by hand that I think are really good to study from. So if you guys want to make it easy, in 2013, I actually joined a program. I joined a program called Copy Hour. So it is a paid course. I'm not sure how much money it is. I think it's like $200, $250, or $300 around that price range. So what I did was I joined this course, and every single day he emailed me my piece of copy. And on top of that, there's actually a Facebook group that I joined where me and other copywriters actually went through and broke down what made the sales copy good. So you don't have to buy it. You don't have to spend 300 hours. You guys can do this by hand with the swipe code and the other resources and some of the sales letter I'm going to give you. But if you're one of those guys that just wants things as easy as possible, which is what I did, like every day, I checked my email at 4 p.m. I got the sales letter. I just sat down with my coffee and I just started writing. So if you want it as easy as possible, use Copy Hour. If not, if you're on a small budget, just do it the way I showed you for free. So I'm going to link some sales letters that you can copy. So yeah, if you're really interested in taking your copywriting to the next level, I highly recommend you do this, just because at the end of the day, getting good at copywriting is getting good at sales. And I think there's like no downsides to becoming a better marketer, to becoming a better salesman. Like, this is a skill set that's gonna stay with you for the rest of your life. So I highly recommend you do this. All right, on to the next one.